Welcome to part two. We're joined by Jerry from Belfast, which is Northern Ireland. I have to watch how I usually get that wrong sometimes, cause problems. How are you doing, Jezza?
I'm all right, mate. Not bad.
Glad to hear
You
it.
all right?
Glad to hear it. So we've covered Eubank Ben. We know what it were, don't we? It was just a cash grab with two guys, probably English level at the moment. Do you think?
Yeah. Um, yeah, I would agree with that because Conor Ben's not proven anything to us really, other than the
No.
fact that he can go with Eubank Junior, who's come to the end of the road now, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Daniel Dubois in town. Usyk's in town. Big media day. Well, media week. What do you make of it all and how it's all been done this, because Parker got shoved out, didn't he? What do you think about it all, Jerry?
Um, well, I'd probably have to begin with I can't believe how much disrespect is being shown towards the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I don't care if he's had to give that IBF belt up. He's still undisputed. Everybody knows he is. Um, Usyk's obviously handling things like a total pro, super classy man, always respectful, funny, entertaining, um, all around good guy. And then you've got Team Dubois getting John Coffey to act tough and try and be controversial and shove him when he's on the pitch and then shit himself as soon as Usyk came back at him. And, it's all a bit classless, I think, from the Dubois side. Um, Obviously, we had that incident with Don Charles's son being a complete and utter idiot.
What did you think about that? The fantastic Mr. Fox. What did you think? 5-0. Sorry, 5 fights, 4-1, not had a stoppage. Every geezer is fought, losing record. What do you think?
Beaten by the Polish guy, Sokolowski or whatever he's
Yeah,
called.
that chef.
Yeah. Um, that that actually made me sick. I couldn't believe what I was watching. Um, what a big tough man he is, threatening the poor Usyk's eyeballs out. I actually was very surprised when Alexander Usyk went, me, four of your guys, four of my guys, let's go into London and do it in the streets. Um, but no, the Witherspoon's bouncer, obviously, he's a big tough guy, Russ. He rather pull somebody's eyeballs out, you know, do it fight dirty that way. So
Well, it's not done
that
much
was
eyeball. It's not done much eyeball pulling. So far he's 4-1, and he had a stoppage, mate. And he looks absolutely pony. Why don't you fight Adrian King? George Fox against Adrian King. Adrian would wipe him out with Curtis Woodhouse in corner.
I heard Max was calling him
Max would
out.
calling who out? George
Yeah,
Fox.
yeah.
Max would probably do him as well.
I think he would too. I would be totally behind Max. That
Big
would be
Max
brilliant.
will do him. Get
Max.
Julian to train Max back up. We'll get it on. The hardcore's representative, Max, the breadcrumb Jenkins. No, formerly the breadcrumb, he's now Hercules, isn't he?
Former Volvo driver.
Former Volvo driver. Hey, I
We
think
missed
Max
the
is
Volvo.
3-1, I think, on box records. It's a pretty even fight on
Yeah,
paper.
that it makes sense on paper. It does. Um, why not? Did
Yeah,
that guy?
Max deserves a payday, doesn't he? He's been hanging around like a bad smell long enough, hasn't he? Well,
Like
he
a
does,
smelly
doesn't he? Poor Max, bless him. He needs a payday.
Dennis? Get him sorted out.
Can Dubois beat Usyk, Jerry?
Something goes very badly wrong for Usyk. He obviously has knockout power, so you're always susceptible to somebody like that. But this man has fought him before. he is aware of what Daniel Dubois has to offer. The only thing you will have to factor in is that Usyk's a bit older now. So it's basically with what he's got left, is that going to be enough to do the job on Dubois?
Yeah.
Personally, I think he does. Um, and I have a feeling, I believe Andy said this also. I think Usyk's going to try and teach Dubois a lesson. There's just something about, I feel like the amount of disrespect being shown, um, is
To
just,
Usyk.
yeah, yeah. I think,
Yeah, there's a lot of disrespect from Don Charles and that Mr. Fantastic Fox.
well, Don Charles is basically seems like he's the worst Christian ever because he's been a complete and utter tosser in my opinion. Um, and I can't believe someone like that would question another person's Christian beliefs. I'm not religious, so it doesn't bother me. But anybody who's if that's their thing, I respect it as long as they respect me. It's all about respect. And Don Charles is not respecting Alexander Usyk. Tried to call him a liar. Um, that that makes me sick, Russ. Personally,
What would you do if you bumped into Don Charles?
I'd tell him you make me sick.
Would you?
And if he whacked me, I'd be like, some Christian you are, mate.
Oh, Don Charles. Jerry on form tonight, aren't you, Jerry?
Daddy Don Charles, yeah,
Je-
on form,
Je-
mate.
Jerry Raw.
Jerry.
Jerry's intense beef with Don Charles.
Yeah, come on, Don Charles. Me and you in Belfast.
Well, he said it mixed Don Charles as this go-to guy, but I don't see him queuing up for him, do you?
No, I don't know. I think he fell lucky with the Dubois gig because I mean, up until that point, I mean, he's been Derek Chisora's cast-offs 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. What do you think
Do you know
about
what I mean?
Derek? Should he turn it in, Jerry?
Of course, he should turn it in. But I think Derek's been punched in the head so much that he can't think straight. So
Is
I
that what
don't
you think?
that he can't think straight. Yeah.
You think Derek Chisora is showing signs that he's going to end up a dummy?
Is that a trick question? Of course I do.
Yeah. Well, have you heard Derek talk?
Yeah, we've all heard him talk, mate.
Nobody can understand the word he said. Have you seen him when he balls up with these Union Jack face scarves, masks, and all this, and he's bowling up with it? Look, he's selling himself, isn't he? But nobody understands the word that he says. They just see him as a scary dude just trotting about, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, he should really be walking about with a translator so we can all understand what he's saying.
I don't know what's happened to Derek last few years. He's become like this pantomime figure like guy, and he at press conference enhanced
Crazy.
really. Yeah, he keeps everybody on the toes, doing bouncing about. He's a bit like that other villain, Big John Fury, big fighting man in the ring or on the hard road. It's about him or on the tarmac. Big John, isn't it?
Yeah,
They're always there or thereabouts, Jerry. These characters and boxing needs them, doesn't it? I guess.
yeah. I mean, I guess it does make things more interesting, but there's levels, and I think I preferred how boxing used to be personally. Maybe that makes me sad and boring, but that's how it is for me. I prefer to watch the sport. I don't really have time for nonsense, but we get a lot of nonsense in boxing these days.
A lot of nonsense. Come on, Jerry. It's a bit more than that, isn't it? Hey,
A lot of nonsense.
hey, come on.
Oh,
Jerry, these lot are
Don't,
running
don't,
wild, aren't they, with the lies and bullshit on social media? Come
oh,
on.
yeah,
Would you believe after all this boxing shower, Jerry? Tell me.
I think it's made worse because they can preach their lies and bullshit a lot better, because they've got a stage to do it on with social media. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from, mate. I see, but not on Porky's watch, kid, because once that ice breaks, Porky's
You're gonna be there.
wasted. We don't suffer fools on here, Jerry.
Nah.
Fabio Wardley and Miller, Jerry. It's looking like it's off.
Um, Miller's obviously screwed up his drug cycles or whatever, so that's a real
Allegedly.
shame. That's allegedly. That's a real shame because I like what I'm seeing with Fabio in the last 4 years.
Yeah, he's a
Um,
scary guy, Fabio, isn't he?
I like that though, but I kind of
He's like a bogeyman now, isn't he?
yeah. And I hope they can match him with. I want some kind of a decent opponent, and I hope they don't give him a taxi man just to, you know, fill the event. Because he needs a bit more than that. And we also, you're probably wanting to see him tested the same way I want to see him tested now with somebody who's a step up from, Big Freeze.
Big
So,
Freezer's back in mix, though. He's done Tetty.
well done.
Big Freezer's
Uh,
back on patrol. He's putting the division on notice, like Usyk.
there's a fight. Those two should fight each other.
Hey,
There's a fight. Big Freeze and
Tetty.
Huey.
Yeah,
No, no.
Big Freeze and Usyk. That's a good one, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that's an alright fight. Yeah,
Oh, Usy's putting division on notice. He'll take that one as in an heartbeat. It'd just be a starter for him, wouldn't it? Bowler soup with some bread.
yeah. Go for it. That's what I say.
You know what
Get
I
that,
mean? It's
mate.
a bit of intense beef there with Usyk now that he's got his man strength, and it's Big Freeze with big dint in his head from Wardley.
I'm
His
watching.
head looks deformed now, doesn't it?
I know, but I do feel a bit sorry for the guy, but it's tough sport. You
Tough
know what I mean?
sport. He's a warrior though. It's Big Freeze. And last thing you lose is your power, so they say. So Big Freeze will be punching for pay till he's 40, like Joyce. Because these Olympians at the moment, they feel like they're entitled to it, so they just keep reinventing themselves when they lose. And this is where we're at. There ain't no stars coming through, in my opinion.
Yeah, they waited too long in the amateur game and wrung every bit of money they can get out of that, I guess. And then it sort of shafts them when it comes to the pro game because they're too long in the tooth, and basically they try to ram the big fights in as quickly as possible, and then it backfires because you know they've left it last minute. So
Do you think that a Coley should get his flowers now? WBC number one. You take him out, you're in line for Usyk, aren't you? In a big payday or step aside money.
yeah, I mean, if a Coley can obviously get himself some better ranked opponent or whatever, he obviously gets himself into a good position. So, and he seems to have just been sort of fallen off the radar a bit. He's not on. He's he's not being spoken about by anybody. So it'd be nice to see him get in there with somebody.
Do you think he's a bogeyman as well, Lawrence Coley, as well as Wardley? Bogeyman.
Don't know. I don't know. Uh, I still have flashbacks of that Chris Billum Smith fight, and
Dear.
yeah, it gives me nightmares, mate. So I know he has changed how he fights now and things like that, but you know, it it's still kind of in the back of my head that
Well, I
style.
don't agree with you, Jerry. I'm going to go out on a limb and say a Coley's the next Ernie Shavers.
All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see
Well, he
what
can't
happens.
seem to get a fight, can he? He's WEC number one. He'll be getting step aside soon, him, Coley. Watch this space.
Okay.
All you've got to do when you're mandatory at WBC is force it through courts like Mick Hennessy did for Howard Eastman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to do, mate. Instead of all this year, we'll look after you down the line. No, get it forced. Get the issue forced. That's my
I
opinion.
thought
What do you think?
I thought KBL was WBC number one. No,
No, it's a Coley now. Lawrence a Coley, the source.
what's happened with KBL then?
He'll be number one in another organisation, won't he, Caballero? He's another swerve one, isn't he, Caballero? He's a bogey man.
Yeah, but that's what I was thinking. I thought he'd become WBC mandatory, but I don't know. I'm gonna have to check that out now.
You'd have to put Parker in bogey man list, wouldn't you? Stinkinator. Although he's been
Yeah,
beating old men, so jury could be out. Couldn't it really?
yeah, but
Been beating fatties
the
like
name
McCauley and old men like Zhang. Was that? Do you know what I mean?
those were names though that he needed to get rid of though, like because those were names that people were thinking, well, Zhang's done Joyce, and he's this killer, so you have sometimes you have to wade through some of them names if you get me, and he's done it. So even if he gets beaten his next fight, at least he put it like this, he's been one of the most active guys in the top 10.
Jerry,
Obviously he's sitting on the fence now, but
who is?
Parker.
Parker, yeah. I mean, for me, jury's out on him because I need to see him in with somebody on his level. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to see him fighting old fat man. You know what I mean? Then they're making a big noise out of it, like, go to Andy Lee. He's the best, the new Dark Lord, the new Adam Booth. Well, no,
Who's
not for
who's
me
saying that
yet.
though?
The jury will decide soon on Andy Lee.
Who's saying that though?
Well, people are saying Andy Lee's the go-to guy, so let's see now. He's got Shiraz and that other guy, Annie Ben Whittaker now, and Parker.
Yeah,
So he's in
yeah,
like getting into like a Shane McGuigan in that league and Gallagher league now, isn't he? Andy Lee's looking and Ben Davis and he's looking to be hot on their tail, isn't he?
yeah. Well, he's obviously sort of been building himself up gradually, like so.
Yeah.
That's that's the sort of progression you want to see from him.
What do you see Flex doing now? Because he doesn't seem to be doing any training. He's just got that Bradley Goldsmith knocked out. Where do you see Flex heading now as a trainer?
Don't really see. He doesn't really seem to be actively seeming to be having a bit of a stable. Do you know what I mean? So, um, looks like he's content with doing all the YouTube videos that he does with different people.
Yeah, he'll do up for a free card, Dominic. White Rhino against Elmer Fudd. Who do you see winning that? I've got Elmer by points.
It's funny you're bringing that up because I just have that feeling that that's going to happen.
Elmer on
I wasn't.
points.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, I just have a bad feeling that it's not going to go Dave Allen's way.
No,
So yeah,
you don't think
Elmer. I
no?
think it's going to be a bit more conclusive though this time.
Do you?
Yeah,
Do you give Dave Allen a chance, Jerry?
I give him a chance. Yeah, but
A puncher's chances are all.
based on the fact that he hasn't sort of grabbed the bull by the horns like he should have after the Elmer first fight, he kind of just sort of sat back and was like, "Oh well, he beat me, blah blah blah," and then he just didn't seem to be. You know, you would have expected them to really train his ass off for this, so he could come back, get the win, get himself in line for another payday, even if that's his last fight. Do you know what I mean? So now he's kind of going to go. He's probably going to get lose on points by maybe a couple rounds, and he's just going to go out like a damp squib. Um, he does have the puncher's chance, like, but I guess Elmer Fudd had shown a good bit of heart. He did nearly go in that first fight, but credit to him, he got back up and he carried on with it.
Yeah, he did, didn't he, Elmer?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he
So
did.
good luck to him, do you think?
Yeah, I know. Like
He
you
stayed
know,
out that way, Elmer. He's not on social media. He's in camp anywhere. the lazy rhino. He's all over the shop, isn't he?
And that's good. That's where like for all the ball busting we do on here, with Elmer and his dad and stuff. I mean, that's where I have to say, at least he's obviously got his mind in the right place. Do you know what I mean? Even if the guy never gets any or past British level, for what he is, I can respect that if he puts in the work and puts in gutsy performances like he did in the last fight, whether you like him or not. I kind of respect that. So if he's in training and he's staying off social media, good on him.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're getting paid enough, aren't they? So,
Yeah, yeah,
you know. What do you think about
they are.
Robert Smith's role in all this with Ben and Eubank? Licensing Ben and that. You think he's been got at? Because he were all staunch 20 months ago. Do you think he's fell into line as well, Jerry?
Don't know. It's hard to say. He could be, or he's buckled under pressure
Immense
from
pressure.
someone. Yeah, immense
Immense
pressure.
pressure for Roberto Smith, the housewife's favourite.
Fishwise favorite.
What do you think to Eddie's stable at the moment, Jerry, in UK? Is it
It's
Pony?
obviously it's not as strong as it obviously was, like say 4 or 5 years ago. So he doesn't seem to be that bothered by it, though. I think he's kind of sliding into this secondary role in terms of top promoters. He doesn't seem to mind, but he certainly doesn't have a bag of heavyweights in his stable now. So, he seems to be kind of content with Frank Warren being the man with all the heavyweights. But you'd have to say Eddie Hearn's stable's not a patch on what it was. His cash cows are coming to the end of the line now. He's probably going to flog Ben one more time for some dough and then get rid.
Yeah.
Josh was done. You know, who else really has he got? Boots,
Well,
not very well known. Boots,
hey?
and this isn't like a big, massive.
He's
He's
got
not as
Conor
well
Ben and
known.
Joshua, right? Conor Ben's just been beat, and he's not really at any level. He'd be English level at a push, Conor Ben, right? He's not won an
Yeah,
area belt, by the way. And he's got Joshua, a shot fighter, scared of his own shadow. You see where I'm coming from? Who's been stopped twice?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So he's got whiskers problems or beard problems, whatever you want to call it. But the marketable. But Joshua's not had a world title win since 2020. Pulev. And Conor Ben's never had a world title win 'cause he's not even been in a world title fight or an area fight. So that's what he's got as regards UK stars. There is two big stars.
Yeah.
And all they can cling on to are them two big stars is the Tyson Fury fight, which they'll try and get free out of, which keeps Eddie going another couple of years, doesn't it? And Conor Ben, and Eubank, which Eddie will try and get free out of. Watch it unfold, and that gives him another couple of years dining at the top table, doesn't it?
If you can pull that off, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, of course it does.
Um,
And maybe the landscape might change then a little bit for Eddie Hills. He'll hope so, and he'll get no signings off back of it all. There is trump cards at the moment: a trilogy with Eubank and a trilogy with Fury. There is trump cards. They won't want Usyk again because he might get wrote off, and Fury won't want to go for a third licking. So maybe they might be looking at fighting, but Eddie will want three out that, and he'll want another two out, Eubank and Ben. Watch it unfold and watch them get on the platforms and keep selling it to us.
well, if he does, I'd say there'll be a bit of luck involved because I could see this Fury thing not happening now. Fury's talking like he's got other things in mind. Um,
Well, it's now or never, innit? Because they're now on fringes now. Now Turkey's gone with Dana White. They're not really that close to Turkey, are they? So they're all like employees now, whereas before, I think they all thought they had feet under the table, didn't they, really? Do you think? Holding hands and all that. It doesn't look so rosy now, does it?
No, there's been a
So
bit of a
look,
shift.
look at them now to make this fight. That fight, they might be thinking, "Hang on a minute, let's strike now while the going's not that hot. It's still a little bit hot, but it's not as hot as it were. So they'll want to strike now, then, thinking they're losing the grip over there. Watch it unfold.
Yeah, I think you're right, mate. I think you're right.
I know I'm right, mate. I know I'm right. They're all sweating now, thinking, "Oh, are we going to get money for this here or what? Or have we got to stump it all up?" Because when he was stumping it up, that turkey with arenas and everything else, all production, it were all free grasses for him, wasn't it? Now they've got to really graft at Wembley with Dubois Usyk, can't they?
Yeah,
So
you're
Turkey
right.
will see what they're all about now, won't he? Unless
He
he's
will.
got dough in show, we don't know, do we, Bert? It's all a bit fractured for me.
Yeah. Do you think that's come to a bit of a shorter shorter conclusion than you were expecting, or did you think it was going to go like that? The relationship with the Saudis?
What, the Usyk and, sorry, the Fury Joshua relationship?
No, Hills and Warren with
Yeah,
the
listen,
Saudis.
mate, if they can make money together, they'll hold hands. And they'll not care a damn what anybody says because they're money driven men.
Yeah,
They're money driven. They're not bothered what you say. They just drown you out on the platforms. That's all it's about now. They're all building armies with YouTubers. It's about befriending them so you can get it out there, what you get your point across. That's how they're doing it now. That's how it's gone. It's not about ability now. It's about who does views.
like Froch,
Yeah, well, they've had to soften him up, haven't they? Because he were making too much noise, wasn't he, about them all?
pretty much. Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
That's what's happened there. They thought, oh, we'll soften him up. Look at views he's doing. They shit the pants, didn't they? Now he's fell into line. They've still not thrown him a bone, have they?
Doesn't appear to be. Doesn't
No,
appear
they've
to be.
still not thrown him a bone. Now he's fell into line. And he now looks a bit daft, Carl, which is sad to see. But that's what they do. That's what boxing does to you.
Yeah,
You know, anything Eddie Hearn says to you, to me, or anything I see, it's no good to me because it can't be trusted.
yeah. They're all snakes, mate. Of
You know that, Jerry. You know that. So.
course.
Anyway, listen, I'm gonna have to get off because I've got James on with his
uh,
rip-wrapped wheelchair,
the kebab man.
the kebab man. Okay,
Yeah,
doke, Jerry. Listen, thanks for coming on. You've been cool.
no worries, mate. Take it
All
easy and
right,
have a good
Jerry.
weekend. All right.
You take care. Cheers,
See you later,
mate.
mate. Bye bye.
Pop, pop, bang. Well, that was Jerry from Ireland. Women love him, men want to be him. It's because of his Magnum Tash. Right, better get on for James now. I'll let him rant. I'll just let James rant off, shall I? I'll just go on, James. Just roll with it. I'm shattered. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Or feel free to join the members area. Booyaka.